Hello and welcome to Sovereign RPG. I am Sovereign, and today we're going to sort of go over the disappearing act of the development team. Now, there's a lot of people getting really upset with this whole insurance thing, how they believe they're being ignored, how everything isn't going the way they want it to. You've got some people going in and starting up a protest, which in my opinion is perfectly fine. If you don't agree with something that's being done and you want to protest it to be able to make change, that's perfectly fine. But there are some things that detract from what you're trying to do. But we'll go into that a little bit later. Let's just go over why the devs have not responded so far. Now, some of you may not know that currently in China right now is the holiday of Chinese New Year. Now, it is on February 12th, but the holidays do start before and they do continue after. Now, this is the same basic holidays that everyone gets around the world when it comes to Christmas, Easter, especially in a lot of the Christian countries around the world, where you have New Year's Day off, Christmas Day, Christmas Eve sometimes. I know some people don't get that stuff off, but a lot of us do, especially in Spain. We get hundreds of bank holidays. It's ridiculous how many days we get off a year that doesn't get taken off of your holiday. But this is a time for celebration in the country where the devs reside. Now, I'm not saying they shouldn't come and say something at least to be able to quell some of the issues that have been happening. I would really love for them to give us a reason why they added the insurance system, what their future plans are for it, why they decided to add this system just before T9 to kind of, some people are saying, masking any effect that this system will have on the market, because obviously there'll be the T9 rush, so there'll still be a lot of minerals going around, a lot of ore going around, people will still be building a lot of ships, making a lot of money, and there's other people saying that this is a massive cash grab and all kinds of other things, and people are saying that they've coincided the release of the insurance just before the actual Chinese New Year holiday, so they didn't have to deal with any fallout until they came back, so they can really see what's happening once they get there. Now, as far as I know, Discord is banned in China. I may be incorrect with that. It's what I've been told previously, and I haven't done much background checking on that fact, but I believe they have to use VPN software from their workstations, which is why they had so much trouble last year when they had to start working from home. They couldn't get in the Discord because they couldn't access the VPN software to get past the firewall. Now, that's as far as I know. So it's not just that they're ignoring what's going on. They're not, and we know that I'm the first person to complain about developers making silly decisions. I'm the first person to complain and bring up and bring to attention that there are issues in certain things that people do. But right now, I don't think they are trying to ignore you. Why would a developer try to ignore you when it affects the bottom line? I think it's just a bad series of coincidences that have happened in a sort of space of time that's very suspect in nature. I really don't think these guys are trying to screw everyone over. I've known these guys long enough now to understand what their motives are on a personal level for the game itself. I speak to quite a lot of the developers when it comes to how they feel about the game, how they feel it's going, what their intentions are for the game. We have a lot of personal conversations about our families, etc. It's not just them trying to sweet talk me into thinking that they are all for the game. I do believe that a lot of the team of developers really care about this game. So I believe we need to give them a little bit of patience and so they can get this thing in tow. Now, we haven't had a response from them. They haven't told us that they understand that we're upset about some stuff, but that will come. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't have a right to protest what you want to do, etc. I was, in fact, because I believe that the people in charge really cared about the game at the time, and they were doing this protest to actually help the game itself, to help the players, to balance the scales when it comes to the adding of this insurance system. Now, after I joined, I realized after seeing a couple of comments when I joined their Discord, I saw a couple of comments from the leadership where they were talking about how people need to fight for their blah, 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 and they need to fight to, where people need to fight for their opinions. And they really do. I have no question in my mind that they shouldn't be able to voice their opinions in any way, which way they like. Now, the person who's leading this charge, I'm not going to start pointing out names. I'm not going to throw up screenshots of the conversations itself. They are in the Reddit posts. You can see them. They're in the Discord. You can search for them in the Discord. I'm just going to read out some of the quotes on here that have made me believe and has made me push away from the Let Jeter Burn event because of the attitude of this one person. He kept making comments about being part of like online website gaming news channels and blah, 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 which was kind of weird to me at first, because at first I was sitting there, I was just thinking, well, this isn't really about the game. This is about you getting your name out there as someone who started a movement. That's more hubris and arrogance than actually wanting to help the game. But then as time went on, I thought, you know what, I might just be stepping ahead of the gun a little bit. But then I started to see random comments like, hopefully this will be the wake-up call for all those that naively believe there is hope in this game when there is none, that we then leave and hurt NetEase's ROI. That's one of the comments that were made. That's not helping the game. That's not helping the game to be better. That's it. This is this sort of woke culture bullshit that keeps going on right now. And I don't even know what woke culture is, to be honest. It's like, it's a confusing concept to me. I'm not very internet inclined with any of this sort of stuff that goes on around. I mean, I understand there's issues going on from both sides, but I'm too lazy to give a fuck about that sort of thing. But from what people have said to me, this is like some woke culture stuff. He just wants to give himself a name by getting likes and blah 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 by getting this sort of group of people together in his name to fight the big bad NetEase. And then he says things like it's almost like a game focused around a free market economy shouldn't be made by developers who lack it in their home country. I mean, I understand there's some sort of relevance to where people are born and their cultural heritage and what their culture is like, etc. But this just seems all too familiar from all different aspects of all different walks of life, where people are using things that groups of people crowd around, using certain topics that they crowd around. And I don't feel like, for me personally, this isn't being done for the betterment of the game. Now, if you want to join this Let Jita Burn movement and you want to be part of this protest, I will not begrudge you that. I will not think you're a bad person for wanting to do it, because I know 99% of you guys, your intentions are pure and you want to be able to change the game to make it better. I just can't follow a person who would say things like this and try to edge people on, telling them to spam the Eve Echoes Discord when there's no developers online because it's Chinese fucking New Year and the only people in there are happily having a conversation about random stuff to do with Eve Echoes. And then all of a sudden you have 50 people come in and spam the same shit over and over again, ruining whatever atmosphere that we had in there. That doesn't hurt NetEase. They didn't even see it. They won't see it because they're not going to be here for another week, and that whole part of that chat is gone missing. All you really had to do was come in there, drop the link for it. Even once an hour, once every 2 hours, you could have dropped a link in there to make sure that people understand what your movement's doing, why they are doing it, and that could have been the easy way. But I know there's going to be people that are going to turn around and say, well, you can't do anything unless you push it. Yes, everyone knows what you guys are doing. A lot of people agree with you, but you don't need to actually ruin the players' enjoyment to better yourselves for saying that you want to help the players. It's just a confusing thing to me. I don't get this whole internet bullshit. I didn't even use Reddit until Echoes came out, and then I stopped using it very quickly afterwards. I don't have social media. I don't have Instagram. I had a Twitter, but stopped using that because, I don't know, social media just drives me mental. This kind of went off on a different direction than I wanted the video to go, but this is what happens when I stop doing scripts and I start free talking. I start speaking random shit over and over again. But as I said, if you want to join this movement, I will leave the Discord link in the description. I will not begrudge you anything that you feel will make the game better. By all means, carry on. I'll even put the link down there. I'll stick some Reddit posts down there for you to take a look at if you haven't seen them. There's even leaders of some of the major alliances that have moved away from this movement because of this one leader. So it's just, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this, but what can I say? It's my opinion. I can't say that. I'm not going to sit behind and say, yeah, you should join this, guys, because this is an upstanding gentleman that only has the gamers in mind. He's not. I'm just asking that you guys have a little patience with the devs, wait for them to have their little bit of holiday. They've been working non-stop, stupid hours to make sure that everything's okay in the game, to make sure it's kind of running smoothly after mistakes have been made. We know I complain about bugs. We know I complain about every time there's a new patch note and patches come out, there's a new bug involved in that. I complain about that shit all the time. But they are trying. I'll let you guys decide on what you want to do. As I said, just have a little patience. Give it some time. The world's not going to end just yet. We have some time to be able to make sure the devs come back. I've given them all of the information. I've linked this Discord. I've linked all of the Reddit posts. The mods have also been trying to talk to the devs, but they're just hard to get hold of. We got hold of them for a couple of minutes last night as they came in to check emails and stuff, and the Discord must have popped up. They must have seen 100 million pings and gone, what the hell? And we got a little bit of conversation out of them. They understand that there's an issue, and they understand that they're going to need to make some changes. So let's give them a little time. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, remember to like and sub if you haven't already. This is your one-stop shop to Eve Echoes content. Fly safe and avoid local chat scams.